We are still in the hunt for potential waiver wire stars at the start of the season, so let's keep swinging, let's keep looking for upside, and let's get back into that waiver wire. In this video, we're going to go over players with immense upside who should be widely available and who could change the outlook of your team drastically. Remember, we are purely shooting for upside, so if the wheels fall off on any of these guys, let's not be afraid to cut them and move on. I'm Chris, and welcome back to Number 2 Sports. Okay, the first guy on the list who's making a ton of noise across the MLB right now is Jacob Wilson, the shortstop off the Athletics. Now, this guy hates striking out more than a foam ball hates seeing me with a wiffle bat. No, but in all seriousness, this guy is an absolute machine, batting .379 on the season with a couple homers, and he's struck out only twice in a ridiculous 48 bats so far this year. This guy refuses to strike out or walk by essentially swinging at everything, and I think the most ridiculous stat I heard about him to start the season was that he swung and missed at only one pitch in his first 29 plate appearances. One. He's either not human, or he's paid every pitcher he's faced this year to tip him pitches. The downside is, he's going to produce a crap load of weak contact based on his swinging model, and he's not going to get you any stolen bases. He has 0 so far in 2025. So I wouldn't get too excited about him for those reasons, but if he's going to be Luis Arraez on roids, he's going to single-handedly win you hits and OBP each week. Go see if he's available. And if he's not and you've already rostered him, you know what to do. Next up, we have Ben Rice, the first baseman off the Yankees. Benny Boy is absolutely destroying the baseball right now. His exit velocity is off the charts, and he's been doing it since spring training. He already has 11 balls batted over 100 miles per hour this year, and he's only one of 14 players to do it in the entire MLB. His barrel rate, hard hit rate, and average exit velocity are all on the 100th percentile right now, and it just backs up the real life proof that no baseball wants to see Ben Rice's bat coming at it right now. He's already hit 3 homers, 4 RBI, and 9 runs, and to top it off, he's been batting first or second in the Yankees lineup lately, and that's arguably one of the best spots to be in all of baseball for a fantasy perspective. Legit, the sky is the limit for him. If he just keeps those strikeouts manageable, I think he can be a superstar. Hopefully you already grabbed him a little while ago in your league, but go double check right now, see if he's floating around on any wires. If so, scoop him up immediately. If you guys are liking these videos, it'd be awesome if you subscribed. Last week, we went over a bunch of different guys who have been crushing it so far, so make sure to go check out that video and see if any of those guys are still floating around on your wire, because they could be great pickups for your team. Next up, we got Zac Veen, the right fielder from Colorado, who legit looks like he saw a ghost on pitcher day. A former 9th overall pick by the Rockies in 2020, Veen has always had a very potentially fantasy-friendly game. He has that coveted power-speed combo. Even though the power hasn't always shown up in games yet, he plays his home park out of Colorado, and we all know baseballs love to fly out of there. He had a great spring training, batting .270 with 9 steals, and the underlying metrics showed that he even deserved to be a little bit better as well. The 23-year-old just got called up a few days ago, and even though he started ice cold, all he needs is a chance, so as long as the Rockies, which is a big if, let him get his feet wet in the majors, I think he can be a real nice addition to most fantasy teams down the stretch and the rest of the year, especially looking for steals. The hope is, once the weather starts to get better in Denver, it's going to add some juice to his bat and help him round out his fantasy game. He just needs the opportunity. Okay, so we're going a little deep in the bag here. This is going to be for deep leagues or maybe Dynasty League. We got Noelvi Marte, the third baseman from Cincinnati. Now, let's not forget, Marte was once considered a top prospect in the entire fantasy community, and he was the centerpiece in the Luis Castillo trade between the Mariners and the Reds a few seasons ago. His game is an incredible blend of power and speed, which is what everybody is chasing for from a fantasy perspective. However, last year he got slapped with an 80-game suspension for juicing, and frankly, he was just downright awful at the dish to end the year. But let's remember, he's just a young kid. He had a ton of pressure on him to perform. He got caught doing roids, and I think he just couldn't handle it. His 2023 numbers were great, where he batted over 300 and he was ripping the cover off the baseball. I think he's more like that version than the version we saw last year in 2024. And his time in the minors so far this year have backed that claim up. He's batting .353 with 5 RBI and 3 steals through 9 games. He was recently promoted to the Reds roster. Mind you, he hasn't played yet. He's been riding the pine. But if he does get the opportunity and he starts off good, I think he'll be a popular pickup on the wire. That's why I'm recommending stashing him now if you have the spot and beat all your league mates to him. And if he doesn't get an opportunity to play this time and he gets sent back down, throw him on an open NA spot if you have that and let him rot there for a while, because there's no doubt he's going to be back up soon and you'll want him on your squad if he starts to make a difference. Again, the power and speed combo is so rare to find on the wire, so let's hope he put that nightmarish 2024 season to rest. And let's hope he found some undetectable PEDs and gets back out there juicing the ball and reclaims some of that top former prospect status. So next up, we have Mr. Utility, Dylan Moore from Seattle. This guy is chasing the gauntlet to have every single position eligibility in Yahoo, so you won't have any issues sticking him into your lineup. This isn't one of our classic high upside rest of season guys, but I wanted to include him in here because of all the injuries right now at the second base position. So for me, I've scooped him up off the wire. He's going to help me out with some home runs, some hits, some RBIs, some steals, while not totally destroying my batting average. He's not going to blow you away in any categories, but hopefully he claims a leadoff spot now with the Victor Robles injury. And if he does, I think he'll accumulate a nice amount of counting stats, and he should be a solid contributor for your fantasy squad. I think he's definitely better than the 201 batting average he had last year. The Mariners across the board were just absolute garbo in the batting department. I think he's more like a 240 hitter, which can be useful in the right situation. Do not go break the bank for this guy by any means, but if you're getting ravaged by injuries and you need a certain position to fill, you can do a lot worse than him on the wire. The first pitching recommendation we got this week is Max Meyer out of Miami. As we continue with the general theme for most of these guys, he's a former top pitching prospect. He was the 3rd overall pick in the 2020 draft, and he's just oozing with potential upside. He's quietly put together 3 very nice starts in a row. He now has a 2 ERA, 19 Ks, and 18 innings. He has a 5-pitch arsenal with a slider, changeup, 4-seam sinker, and sweeper, but his best pitch is his slider, which he's actually juiced up 2 more miles per hour faster without sacrificing any movement on the pitch. He is absolutely putting batters away with it. Batters are hitting under 100 against it when he throws it this year, and he's been throwing it a ton, evidenced by his 19 whiffs already and a 28.3% whiff rate. At 26 years old, the book is far from closed on him, and he still has a ton of breakout potential left. It looks like he's been giving up some hard contact, but the rest of the underlying stats look okay and manageable. But anybody that has the ability to strike out 6, 7, 8 batters per game needs to be looked at, especially with the prospect pedigree that Max Meyer carries. So I'm going to look at him on the wire, I'm going to grab him if he's available, and let's see if these improvements stick. So next up we have Zebby Matthews, the faceless man from Minnesota. This is another deep league ad or stash. While he hasn't officially been called up yet, the word around the street is that he's going to be called up real soon due to Pablo Lopez's injuries, or Minnesota's going to go to a 6-man rotation, get him up in the big leagues, and give all the other starting pitchers a little bit extra rest. If we look at his stats, he's been lights out in AAA so far in his 2 starts, going 13 Ks over 10 innings with a 1.8 ERA. Last year in the majors, he struck out 43 over 37.2 innings, showcasing his elite swing and miss potential. He just struggled mightily to keep the ball in the ballpark, which a lot of young pitchers can tend to do. I love chasing high strikeout guys on the wire. He's young. He's dominated every level leading up to the majors. He had some great starts last year, which shows he's capable of hanging with the big boys. I love the upside potential with him. Go stash him now before he gets officially called up, before he makes his first start, so you can just have him there sitting on your bench and won't have to worry about rushing to the wire. Okay, so I thought I should go over some closers. Even though I hate drafting closers, I never do it in any of my category leagues. I always just punt saves and find any starting pitchers with the relief pitcher eligibility, like Bubic, who we highlighted in our first video. But I know that's not the strategy for everyone. That's just something I do. So the first couple guys here, we got Ben Joyce, closer from LA, and this dude throws absolute gas. And I love closers that throw gas. He's pumping out an over 100-mile-per-hour fastball on the reg, and it looks like LA might actually start to win some games this year too. At the time of filming this, I just noticed he actually went to the IL with some shoulder inflammation. He didn't seem like he was too worried about it. Maybe don't pick him up right now, but it's somebody to keep an eye on for sure. And then the next guy we have is Jose Alvarado, who just legit might be the best closer in baseball right now. He might be available in your league. So if you're looking for a relief pitcher, go double check to see that he's not floating around on the wire. He has nasty stuff, and he plays on the Phillies, who are going to get a ton of save opportunities. So I think he could end up being one of the best closers this year. And if he's on the wire, you're just getting him for free. I appreciate everyone watching these videos. You guys are legends. And to end the week, I'm going to send you guys off with this banger. Give a man a fish and he poops for a day. Teach a man to fish and he poops for life. That's some deep stuff right there. We'll have a recap from the first vid next week. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.